purchasing versus renting equipment is what we're talking about today. And purchasing equipment might seem like it would save you a lot of money in the beginning, especially when you're comparing the rental rates that you are paying for that equipment and the loan payments that you will be paying on the equipment. But is it always the smartest move for your business and where you are at this point in time? So we want to look through that a little bit more in detail. We have a lot of clients that, or we have come across a lot of clients that are struggling with cash flow, but yet they have several pieces of equipment on their balance sheet. And along with those pieces of equipment, they have several loans to go with those equipment pieces. And then typically what we see is there are 1 to 2 or more pieces of equipment that aren't even being used on a regular basis. Those equipment items are not making them any money whatsoever, yet they are sitting there and they are costing them money day over day over day over day. And many times they're paying thousands of dollars a month in equipment loan payments. Interest is racking up as well. So with the services that we provide in our CFO level services, we do analysis of equipment purchasing. So before our clients, keyword is before our clients decide to go purchase equipment, hopefully they talk with us first and we can do some analysis on that. And if that's a good idea for them and where they're at this time. So I want to go through some of the things that we look at in that process with you. So if you aren't one of our clients, maybe you can still go through some of these questions and some of these scenarios to figure out if purchasing the equipment is best for you at this time. So first, we do want to compare the purchase price versus the rental rate per day, per week, per month, depending on what line of work you're in, how long you're at the site, and specifically for that piece of equipment. So we do want to compare the rental rate versus the purchase price. And then how many days, weeks, months, whatever that may be, however you use the equipment, does it need to be in use to exceed the rental rate? And what I'm asking for there is if you rented the equipment, how many days or weeks or months would you need to rent that piece of equipment for you to get to the purchase price? Okay, so how many days does it need to be rented or in use for it to hit that purchase price amount? We are not looking at the loan price. We're not looking at the loan value. We are not looking at your loan payment. We're not looking at the interest. We're looking at the purchase price. Okay, so now we've determined how many days, weeks, months it needs to be in use to pay for itself. And now we're going to see how many days, weeks, months are already in your backlog, where you already know that this piece of equipment is going to be in use on your jobs. How many days, weeks, months is this piece of equipment already going to be used in the jobs that you've already been awarded and are already in your backlog? Now, how many projects, how many jobs do you need to get? How long is it going to take you to get to the amount of days, weeks, months until you get to the purchase price? So if we need to rent it for 60 weeks to get to the purchase price, and I'm just throwing out random numbers here, and we have 40 weeks in our backlog that we already know it's going to be used for 40 weeks. How many projects do we need to get to that other 20 weeks that we need to be using this piece of equipment? So that's the next question I want to ask you. And then you can go into some more analysis on How much is that going to take? Is that probable? Is that likely? How long will it take us to get that many jobs? And you can use that as the part of your analysis. You also want to be looking at estimated maintenance costs. How often do we need to do maintenance on this piece of equipment? Which parts need the most maintenance and upkeep? Is there any special warranties? What does our warranty look like? And how does that compare to the rental agreements that we've had? So there are some pieces of equipment with your rentals, depending on how long the rentals are, that you are still responsible for some of the maintenance on that equipment. So really understanding how, if you own the piece of equipment, what the maintenance and how that would compare to if you rented the piece of equipment. So there's a lot of different things to look at. And now, do you have a system and process in place to job cost out all of the equipment expenses for the equipment that you own? So I've talked about this before on videos. A lot of companies do not know how or do not understand that they need to cost out their owned equipment so that it's getting applied to jobs, it's getting factoring into the cost of the job, because that is what you're using your equipment on. It's really easy to do when you get a rental invoice. It's a lot more difficult to do if you have owned equipment. And you really need to know how much each piece of equipment is making for you, for your business. How much money is each piece of equipment making? And that's kind of the process that we're going through here, making sure that it's not costing you more money to own this piece of equipment. This equipment should be making you money. And if it is just sitting out in your yard or sitting in storage, it's time to get rid of it. So I encourage you, when you are thinking about purchasing new equipment for your business, go through these steps, go through these questions, and analyze whether that's really a good decision for you to make right now with your business, or if you should rent a little bit longer for the jobs that you're working on. Also, if you are somebody that is struggling with cash right now or having a hard time finding jobs right now, and you have several pieces of equipment that are sitting around, you are paying loans on, or maybe you're not paying loans on, either way, go ahead and sell those pieces off, and do so as quickly as possible so that you can get that cash coming back into your bank. You can always go back and rent it if you get a new job that needs a piece of equipment like that, or you can always later down the road go back and buy another piece of equipment when it's more suitable and better for your business financially. So I know that there are a lot of people out there to just love getting their hands on new equipment. I know it's fun for you and your business, but we want to be really smart about it, because that can definitely be an area that hurts us with our cash. And we need to hang on right now to all the cash that we can. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about equipment rentals or purchasing, please reach out to us. Let us know. We'd be glad to help. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.